Yeah. What up? What up? What up? It's your boy ARP. Rare Beat Entertainment is the movement. Back with another podcast. Sit down for y'all. And this is the Sorry It's True podcast, hosted by myself, ARP. Once again, appreciate everybody that's been supporting, been rocking. Share the podcast, share the individual segments, share the full episodes. I seen that feedback. Y'all wanted the long full episodes. I started dropping those for you as well. Keep in mind also, the full episodes, I'm always going to leave some type of content or a topic or two or some type of exclusive that wasn't released individually to the channel. But yeah, how was y'all week, man? Before we start getting into these topics, how was y'all week? What did y'all get into? I'm sitting here recording this right now on a Saturday. What did y'all get into this previous week, man? How was y'all Monday through Friday? Was it productive? Was it busy? I'm gonna tell y'all, for me, man, I ain't do shit. I sat around on my ass watching The Sopranos, trying to finish off season 6. That's all I did. Maybe a little bit of housework. I didn't do nothing. That's a damn lie, man. You cannot be successful sitting on your ass watching TV all day. You know, they say successful people are very, very busy. Like, you ever hear that saying that men sometimes say to women? They'd be like, you know, if you want a successful man, you're not going to get all the time. If you want a man that's going to give you all the time, he's not going to be successful. You know, everything has balance in life. You got to find your happy mediums. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be a trade-off. You can't be an A++++ businessman and an A++++ husband and an A++++ father and an A+++ mother. You know what I'm saying? It's like something is gonna slack a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's only 24 hours in a day. That's just the nature of the beast. But if you're on the road to success, or if you already have achieved some form of success, or if you're just a natural grinder and you work your ass off, time is not something that you're going to have a lot of. That's just how it goes. You know what I'm saying? You speak with a lot of these millionaires and billionaires, man, and ask them how many sleepless nights they've had. You know, how many hours of sleep they get after sitting in the studio all day. That's like for the musicians. Or staying up trying to memorize a script. That's for the actors. Or, you know, my 9-to-5ers, people that are just trying to build up their careers. Just always going to be something that goes hand in hand. Highest levels of success, your schedule is just going to be through the roof. But that brings us right back to another Saturday. I tend to have time to sit down with these podcasts on the weekends. Much easier for me on a Saturday or a Sunday, you know, opposed to the rest of the week. But we here. What are y'all playing in the gym these days? I mean, even though y'all seen that recent episode where I was talking about the God Did verse from Jay-Z and everything, no bullshit, man. That album, this is probably Khaled's best album. I haven't heard all of them, you know what I'm saying? But from the reviews that I've seen and the ones that I have listened to me, this is the best album that I know that's in his catalog. There really is a good listen all the way from beginning to end. And I think now that the Jadakiss shit is catching on, that's dope to see. You know, he only laced y'all with one verse, but that's all it took. You want to know what not enough people are speaking about yet? And I don't know why. Maybe it's because there's no video for it yet, to my knowledge. And I know he's got like maybe 5 or 6 videos already done for the songs on this album, but the Eminem and Kanye track. Eminem's verse on that track is stupid. You can easily argue that Eminem verse as the top verse on the entire album. It's probably better for Kanye that he wasn't rapping on this track. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of like doing like a singy type of melody. Yeah, I mean, until M starts coming in and rocking, because you don't want to try to rap next to that shit sometimes. Even when Eminem was producing, and maybe he still does, for all I know. I don't see song credits these days. Like back in the day when we used to go to the store and buy the album, and it was exciting to peel the wrapper off and read the credits and see who produced what and all that type of stuff. We don't have that anymore. So unless it's a particular sound, or the producers are putting like some type of catchphrase or something in the beginning of the song, I think that's the reason why they do that. Because it's not like the old school where people are reading, you know, the credits. You know, you just get things on stream these days, or it's such a digital world that, you know, unless you got that brand and that stamp on the front of the song, or it's such a familiar sound, you may not even know who produced it. And of course, the producer is going to want their work to get out there. They're going to want their recognition, especially if they're working with stars. But even when M was, you know, really looked at a lot for his production, I think I remember an interview of him saying, you know, he tries to embed his voice within the track and within the beat. And I've always put him as like one of the top 3 people that can do that. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 people from the Bone Thugs that did that very well. You know, Crazy and Busy, I thought always did that pretty well. And I don't think you can do it only by just being a straightforward rapper. Like, let's say like a Twister or something like that. Just rap, boom, 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 boom. And that's dope. But I think that the way that they bend their voice and they kind of bend with certain melodies to match the track, and it's just crazy. To me, there's levels. Like, we all know that you can just ride a melody or ride a track or catch a beat or catch a pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing. Most of our top artists, you know, mastered that. But to embed your voice and your delivery like within the track, maybe you just got to have like that musical soul, like the way that I do, to see the difference or to feel the difference when you listen to that track. And I feel like M did that once again on this shit. And speaking of this album, yo, Show Off, I seen you on Twitter. Stop that shit. Stop that shit immediately. I saw you tweet some shit that basically said like this Khaled album could be one of the best of all time. Or maybe I don't want to misquote it all the way, but you said something like maybe top 5, top 10, or one of the best of or whatever. It's a very, very good album. But stop that shit. Stop that shit. There's hundreds and hundreds of hip hop album classics that we've experienced since, whether it was the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. Stop that shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to get through the Nas's and the Jay-Z's and the Outcasts and the Wu-Tangs and the Tupacs and the Biggies and the Big Puns and the 50 Cents. Like, there's so many classic albums. Like, oh my God, if I sat down and I tried, I could easily name at least 50 to 100 albums better than this Khaled album. And that's the thing about, once again, I said a topic like this, you know, in my last joint. We compare a lot, and I'm doing it right now. You know what I'm saying? And Show Off, to a degree, you did that shit too. Me, I just want to enjoy the album as a dope album. But nah, I ain't gonna let you slide by saying that it's one of the best albums ever. Nah, I ain't letting that shit rock. I ain't letting that shit rock at all. No, sir. All right. I guess like the intro alone could have been a topic. You know what I'm saying? Talk about that album and the time that you have to spend in, you know, your relationships versus whatever lane of success you're traveling through. I guess those are topics itself, but we just use those as openers. You know what I'm saying? We sit down, we start chopping, and then we get into these specific topics, things that have caught my eye during the week that I said, you know what, when I get back to my podcast, I'm gonna sit down with the folks and we're gonna politic some of this stuff. So let's go battle rap. Let's start things off with battle rap this week, because I don't ever want somebody to have the misconception that I've abandoned battle rap on my podcast. No, never. Even if I decide to not do an event for a year or 2 years or whatever, and the ARP as the platform owner and the league owner, you know, gets quiet and he starts to drift away and that's definitely not happening. Like, we got 3 cards on the way. That's not happening. You know what I'm saying? I'm just painting a picture for y'all. Even if I was doing that, I would still be on my podcast recapping battles, talking about battle rap stuff and whatnot. Please don't be, you know, misconstrued that my podcast is not going to have battle rap. I'm always going to have battle rap content on my platform, any platform that I'm on. The ending heard round the world. The shot heard round the world. Was there a shot? Was there? All right. Spoiler alert. For those that haven't seen The Sopranos, you may want to skip this part. For those that have seen it, let's rock out for a second. When I first saw the ending like that, I was extremely caught off guard because I forgot how many episodes were remaining in that second piece of season 6. So I didn't even know it was the last episode. So when it ended, and then when you don't get, like, I'm watching it on HBO Max, and I don't get the next episode little button to click on the screen, and then the credits start coming up, and I'm just like, oh, that's the end. And I rewound it first to see if there was something that I missed. Like, did something else happen? Did I miss something? Let me go back at least like 2-3 minutes before the end. Was there something major that happened that I missed? Like, nah. I'll rewind it. I'll play it back real quick. And I'm just like, they really just ended it like that. What the fuck is that? Then I start having the fake fucking conspiracy theory shit in my head. Like, did they fuck up the production? what was there like, did they get to the chopping table and all shooting and acting and production and everything was signed and sealed and everything was broken down and shipped away and everybody went back to their regular lives and they realized like what's supposed to be the last piece of this footage is damaged or isn't there, or we lost it, this piece of content, and we just got to chop it here? Is that what happened? I really started thinking like that and shit. Like, especially like my little fake production background from battle rap. Like, I've been in situations when we have a battle and it's like, I'm talking to one of our camera crew or somebody that produces, it's like, yo, the audio of this piece is fucked up or this camera view was lost or whatever. For 9 years, I've been dealing with that. So I kind of understand how that happens in overall production. But fast forward, I'm a little bit more mature in giving things an opportunity to understand intent more than I used to be. So one thing that I did was I started YouTubing the ending to get some feedback from people that are a little bit more knowledgeable of you know, the overall storyline, you know more about the storyline than I do. People that may have, you know, watched it multiple times and further broken down all the Easter eggs and all the moments within that last episode and everything that led up to it. I started to watch 1 or 2 of those YouTube videos, and I'm into that stuff because some of these producers and these directors out here, they do amazing stuff in these videos that either we don't know about or is extremely taken for granted. Like if you watch a series like Stranger Things, or if you watch some of these Marvel movies, like, you know, the Avengers movies or whatever, and you YouTube the Easter eggs that these people put into these movies or these series, it's amazing, genius shit. It really is. Like sometimes it even ups the value of the actual content or the series or the show or the episode when you see some of these little hidden things and gems that they placed. It's crazy what they do in Hollywood. So I watched 1 or 2 of those for the ending of The Sopranos, and instantly it gave me a lot of respect for the ending. Instantly. Because it kind of shows you the little small little elements that are happening leading up to that little chop of the ending like that. For example, the camera angle itself of the suspicious guy that was sitting at the counter, and the angle of when he's walking down the hallway to the bathroom, the angle of that is directly on the side of Tony Soprano, which means that when he comes out the bathroom, you know, Tony would have to look to the side to see him, but it's almost like a blind spot, right? They're putting this awkwardness and this weird, you know, image of this guy for a reason. Like, who is that? There's Easter eggs of the jacket he was wearing, the same jacket as the guy that killed himself, hung himself on a rope because he couldn't get out and couldn't move away and all that type of stuff. That's an Easter egg, his jacket alone. The bell that's over the door, so every time somebody comes through the restaurant door, that bell goes off. They're hitting it each time purposefully with each member of the family that comes in. It's another Easter egg with how one of the previous seasons ended, when they just, remember, I think it was like a power outage, and they ended up spending the night together as a family in their friend's restaurant where the lights was out and everything. It had a candlelit dinner. You know, fast forward, the Easter egg or the you know, the parallel to that is ending off a season with hopefully the family, the 4 of them together again, sitting down to eat. You know, so there's a bunch of little small, like little parallels and Easter eggs in there. You know what I'm saying? And there's another one that I saw that's dope. You know, it was a very significant part of the season when Tony was obviously shot and he was in a coma. Everything was white. As he came out of the light or out of the coma, the light. When he was in the coma and he felt like, you know, he was at that funeral home or whatever, and he wasn't sure if he should walk in there or anything like that, you saw the glooming white light start to expand. You know what I'm saying? So coming into life or coming out of the coma or saving yourself, that was the stuff that he was dreaming about. Like, it was kind of like him saving himself and trying to pull himself out of that coma. Everything was light. Whereas the end of this shit cut to black. The opposite, life versus death. All of these little signals of that camera work of the suspicious guy, the bell at the door, there's other little small elements as well that when I picked up on it, when I watched these breakdown videos, I was like, clever. But all of this stuff comes together to basically say he was murdered. You know, and that's another reason why we didn't see his daughter make it all the way in to the restaurant. We just heard the bell go off. So that basically means that she was there to see her father get killed. You know what I'm saying? So the family was there, but they didn't all get a chance to sit down. And you know what I mean? Like it's just a wild way to stir your thoughts, to make the fan base go all over the place, to speculate, to create more talk and more viewership and more sales around it. Like it goes from me saying, what the fuck was that, to me saying that was genius. From the Easter eggs to the elements that tie to other seasons and other episodes, to the marketing of it, just like that, it went like that was an actual genius ending to me. The problem with not knowing and why something like that gets such a negative feedback is because you start to have an attachment. And that's what any good show is going to do. You start to have attachments to certain characters. You start to have attachments to the certain pieces or elements of the story, certain plots and twists. You start to get invested. There's shows out here where certain characters die and you feel damn near distraught, like it's real life. When Stringer died in season 3, I was like, what the y'all took Stringer out? Like, really? Y'all gonna I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? It hits you. And that's what good shows and good development of these pockets is supposed to do. That's what it's supposed to do. So when you got 6 seasons of this highly touted, critically acclaimed show that's rolling out, I'm talking about when it was debuting, not now when I seen it with a late pass, but when it's rolling out, all these seasons, and the show goes across years of rolling out. You develop these attachments. There's women that are in the same position as Carmela, you know, maybe a cheating husband or whatever. There's families that's in these situations that have, you know, daughters that are, you know, going in and out of these relationships, and it's hard to watch them through their ups and their downs. Or maybe their son, you know, is suicidal, or he starts to question the world, or he's acting out at home and all this. You know, there's these things that people can relate to in real life. They say art imitates real life, right? So I get it. When you have an ending like that, people have already built such an attachment to this show and to these characters, where it's just like, oh, no. You're not going to give me closure? Oh, no, fuck this. It's going to be an outrage. But that within itself could be genius. Because if I create an outrage, and if I create all these talking points, that's marketing, of course, like through the roof, but you're going off kilter. You're going off the norm of like, I'm not just going to show you Tony Soprano walking off into the sun or getting shot, or if he finally stops cheating, or I'm not going to show that to you. Instead, I'm just going to boom, do this. And I'm going to be unconventional about it after making you come through 6 seasons of this show that you fell in love with. So I really developed a deep appreciation, respect for it. And I think it's genius now, the ending. And I expected it for me to hate it. And like I said, at first I did. I was like, what the fuck? But it took me, you know, a little bit of open-mindedness to wait, hold on, let me follow up a little bit. Let me do a little bit more homework. Let me see the stuff that I may not have missed, and listen to some of these videos of people that really are entrenched in Sopranos and know all these different tie-ins and whatnot. Because I only watched it once. I know you miss a lot. Let me see what they're saying. And then it's like, oh, it was genius. Quando Rondo drops his flag. This one is very, very well known in of course the hip hop world. And one of the reasons why it's so well known is it's like, let's call a spade a spade. Let's be real about it. It's like people are waiting to just see this young man die. They're waiting to see what his end is. You know, how this all plays out. Some of that is because we're desensitized to the loss of life, unfortunately. Some of that is because King Von is an extremely loved person. And some of that might be because Quando Rondo maybe rubs a lot of people the wrong way. And I never followed Quando Rondo. I don't know his music. I didn't know him before the situation. So from what I've seen from him ever since the situation, I could understand why maybe he's not certain people's cup of tea, all right, to say the least. And I don't want to cast judgment on him because, once again, like I said, I don't know him personally, of course. And I don't know his music, and I didn't follow him prior to this. I don't follow him now. You know, when he pops up in headlines, I pay attention, but I never followed him, and I don't follow him now. So there could be a lot about him as a person that I don't know. So that's a disclaimer. But the things that I did see, I saw his interview with Big U. I saw his interview in the car with Angela Yee. There's probably a lot of stuff that nobody really knows, you know, whether people want to try to pull in NBA Youngboy or pull in this person or pull in that person. Was it timing? Was it this? Was it that? Was it this girl or whatever? There's probably stuff that nobody knows, nobody should know, or will never come out. But from the outside looking in, the things that I see, you know, it's obvious he's been in a very, very dangerous situation. And at times it seems that he's fueled the fire. Now, does fueling the fire even matter when somebody has lost their life? Probably not. Because isn't that how we move? Isn't that how we feel about certain types of beef? Certain types of beef can be ended with a conversation, right? Certain types of beef can be ended with a fade. Certain types of beef will never end. And hopefully, you know, the people never even cross paths, never see each other. Some types of beef people will treat like, I need something extreme to happen. If it comes in a form of violence or bloodshed, it's not easy to forgive that. You see some of these shows on TV where, like, you know, you have like a murderer or somebody that's, you know, charged with murder, and maybe like the murderer goes on the stand, or not even on the stand, you know, gives like his last statement to the judge and jury, and he apologizes to the family. I'm so sorry of how I hurt your family. I'm so sorry I took his or her life, et cetera, et cetera. And you've seen times, you know, where even those parents or those family, they've hugged and embraced, you know, the murderer or the person that, you know, took somebody from their family. They've hugged them. They've forgiven them. There's other times we see the video where Pops is sitting there the whole time waiting for the opportunity to jump over this damn ledge and put my hands on this guy, and whatever charges you want to give me for disrupting this court, I'm taking that. But this is my opportunity to put hands and try to hurt and inflict some type of pain and draw some type of blood for this person that took my loved one. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen both sides. We've seen both sides of it. And before I get into why I even bring that up, let's read Quando Rondo's statement that he put up of why it's going around and people are saying Quando Rondo dropped his flag. Fuck everybody. I mean that shit. I fuck with a select few people. My circle's super tight. I fuck with Lil D, Trench, Los, Cererio, Big Dude, how you pronounce that name, and Lil Tim. Lil Tim was obviously, y'all know who Lil Tim is. It's too much going on. Too many fingers pointing, too many people talking behind my back. I got too much weight on my shoulders. I'm standing on all 10. I love Pop like as fuck, but I'm not going to Cuz funeral, and I know where me and Cuz stand. So I'm assuming that person they say I'm not going to Cuz funeral is a person that just lost their life. Fuck how anybody feel. Keep that shit to yourself. Nobody know what the hell I'm going through. I watch my homie die. I want to see a lot of y'all wake up and keep a level head. After that, I'm focusing on myself and my little girl. That's what I'm living for at all times. I missed with her on top of all this. I'm not in a relationship. I'm not tied to no girl. Me and her have a mutual understanding. I'm solo rocking, and I meant that. No handout. DOE. As crazy as it is that everybody's just out here just waiting to see who's going to die and who's going to live, of course you have to put responsibility on the lifestyle, right? Gang banging is a lifestyle. It's a deadly lifestyle. Who are we kidding? It comes with certain things that need to be expected in that lifestyle, or need to be accepted in that lifestyle. I do look at some of these young guys and try to give, you know, the sympathy eye of, you don't even know what you're doing by joining that gang. You don't even know what you're involving yourself in by joining that group of people or running around with that type of energy. You know, I try to give the sympathetic eye to some of that as well, because, you know, when you're young, you're dumb. You also have to survive your mentality and your maturity. That's real talk. When you're a certain age and when you're a certain level of maturity, you can kill yourself accidentally, like damn near once a week. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how many of us grew up doing stupid shit? And I'm not talking about gang banging, right? I'm not talking about being in some type of street or violent lifestyle, just doing stupid shit. Like it could have been that girl when you were 17 years old that you fucked raw in the bathroom or some crazy dumb shit like that. It's just like, yo, there's this thing called HIV and AIDS going around. There's STDs going around. So you have to survive yourself and your younger years and your mentality and your maturity and get into that state where it's just like, I know I got to stop those things. I know those things was dumb. I understand more about life and this world and people. And damn, I'm glad I didn't end up in jail or end up hurting myself or killing myself or end up hurting my friends or my family or whatever when I did this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's part of maturity. When many people ask the question or make the statement saying, is it too late? Let's use our movies once again as a great example. Anybody see the classic movie American History X? I think that was a very, very good depiction of too late. Too late. For those that didn't see American History X, or for those that forget, the point that I'm making using that movie, you got the main character, which was what in the Aryan nation, the Aryan Brotherhood. He was a racist, you know what I'm saying? Nazi or whatever, skinhead, whatever. He goes to jail for murdering a black man. While he was in jail, he clicked up with his Aryan brothers or his Nazi or racist or skinhead brothers or whatever. And during his times, he realized, like, even though we clicked up like this and we're supposed to have these beliefs and this is the things that we stand on as like the Aryan nation or as a skinhead or as a Nazi, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing that y'all have bend the rules for certain gains or for certain situations. I don't think y'all really stand on the principles that, we supposed to have as this type of collective of people representing what we represent. I don't see y'all standing on it. So he started to go a little AWOL, and him going AWOL because it was like a conflict within himself. Like, y'all ain't real with this. They turned on him. And after they turned on him, one of the people that helped him get a second chance was the same type of people that he grew up hating. A black man helped him get out of jail and get on the right foot. But he had a younger brother that idolized him because he had this big reputation of, going to jail for the cause and murder. And you know what I'm saying? His younger brother idolized him. And his younger brother even started to follow in his footsteps slightly. Even though he wasn't of the same cloth as his older brother that went to jail, he didn't have that type of edge to him at all. But he still tried to emulate him to a degree. The way that movie ends is the perfect depiction of it's too late, because what happens to his brother was a direct effect of the older brother's lifestyle and him trying to change over and grow his hair back and move away from, this skinhead or this racist group and that he was running with and whatever. It was just too late. He had already directly and indirectly affected too many people around him and created too many energies around him that he could never get away from. You know what I'm saying? So going back to this Quando Rondo thing, that's why everybody's asking the question, is it too late for this dropping of the flag thing? And it's just sad to watch this whole thing unfold from the outside looking in, because that a lot of people are viewing this from a form of entertainment. And once again, it's a shame how desensitized we are towards the loss of life right now. I'm watching it from like an educating myself standpoint, being in a loop standpoint, being aware standpoint, and even trying to, like, if I speak on it here on this podcast, trying to carry like a more positive message towards it. You're going to have people that's out there right now. They're on social media. They're on Instagram. They're on Twitter. They're like praying for somebody to win, up the score, this person to die or that person to die. That ain't me. My thing is just like, yo, it's wild to watch this whole situation unfold. And you feel like the only way these people want to reach the finish line is by more loss of life. Please don't be the type of person that's chiming in and trying to instigate it. Even if you probably don't even know these people or the people that's chiming in and, putting out they little votes of what should happen and how it should happen. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like when there's a situation where people are losing their lives, don't be adding energy trying to stir the pot. It's already hot enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, that within itself is such a level of immaturity and irresponsibility to me. But that's what a lot of people are tuned in for. Me, I just think that it's a very, very unfortunate situation for the people that already lost their lives and the people that may continue to end up in situations behind all of this, man. So it's sad, man. All right, man. I hope we didn't come too far down in energy from that last topic, because yeah, it's a very unfortunate situation. But let's jump to battle rap real quick. I'm gonna keep this one real short because I think there's still a lot of rollout that's going to be happening by the time y'all start getting like these visuals and these trailers and all that good stuff that's on the way for the Bags and Bodies TV show. I'm definitely not in a position to drop any spoilers or anything like that. Shout out to Holla, man. You're putting in the work over there. You're working as we speak. I see you, boy. But who do y'all have as the front runner for this whole joint? I'm seeing the name Mac Myron go over a lot. On the talent side of things, he's one of them guys.
I came all the way from Pontiac to tell him this. Stop wearing big hats with headbands and pelly fits. You don't know shit about pots with the steady wrist, with all kind of herbs, nests. I got a Dr. Sebi list. I remember.
Personality standpoint of things, we're going to be tuned in to what Mac Myron is bringing to that crib and his type of energy. But is he the front runner? I just want to ask that question. Maybe I know something, maybe I don't. Maybe there's going to be some curveballs that's going to get thrown into these episodes. And I'm not trying to say, Rex is about to walk through the crib again and just, change the balance of what's going on. Like, there's going to be a lot of unique things that you've never seen done before happen on this TV show. So it's going to be dope as shit. But I'm just asking y'all, Mac is my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I can't get on this camera and be biased. You know what I'm saying? I might end up being a judge for, one of these battles or two or whatever. So I'm definitely not going to be on this damn camera talking about, I want this person to win or that person to win. This is not just the conventional, you get a call as a battle rapper. Yo, what's up? Yo, this date, this opponent, this amount of money. You agree? I agree. Boom. And send a contract. We done. I'll see you in a month or two. This ain't that. You got all types of shit going on in the crib. You got fights that might happen in the crib. You see how he said it's going to be the fade room. The gloves is in there. You know what I'm saying? If you get your ass whooped on one of these episodes because you gloved up with somebody, the fans ain't going to let you win your battle 3 days later. They're like, we don't want to hear none of that gangster shit you just wrote because you just lost a fade 3 days ago. That's the type of variables that's going to be in this show. Even the short prep, even the challenges of having to try to go after bags in other ways. Like, let's say, for example, Holla walks in that crib one day and just says, yo, today we going up to Hot 97 and we're going to do a freestyle competition. Out of the last 4 people that won their battles or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whoever has the best free, boom, 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 boom. And you focused on that for the moment. You writing for that. You know what I'm saying? And you got a battle 3 days later. Or there's some strippers that then came in the crib that night, or the night before you was out partying or whatever and bowling with these, all that type of shit. The focus alone is something that I haven't seen any of those battlers that's in this crib have to deal with. Those type of elements. I don't know anybody that's in this crib that had to prep for a battle under these type of conditions in these situations with all this other stuff that's going on. All this, if I was battling you on Bags and Bodies 3 or 4 or 5 days from now, and especially if by the time I'm done writing and memorizing, the type of hell I'm going to cause you in that crib. This ain't like Battler A is in Cali, Battler B is in New York, and on this Saturday coming up, they're going to finally see each other and they're going to rap. They there with each other now. I get to fucking torment the shit out of you and try to even disrupt your process, your writing process. There's all types of variables there. So I just want to throw out the creativity that's going to come into play with this show and try to break y'all out of the norms of just saying, oh, I think this battler might be better than this battler, so that's who's going to win the whole show. This ain't a typical battle rap event. There's too much going on. So look at the list of people and re-ask yourself, under all these different types of conditions and stuff that's going on, am I sure I got a clear winner? All right, let's start to close this out. Like I said, I'm going to try to do a flowers quick segment every podcast sit down. I'm going to keep it battle rap once again for this particular week. I want to give flowers to somebody that oh man, the amount of times that he has been overlooked, or didn't get the amount of credit that he deserves, or been painted in a certain box of, oh, he's just a pen, or he's just this, or he's just that. So I was watching Remedy Local versus Xcel.
I'm a demon in the street, and I'm scheming. I'm plotting for your soul. You can't be saved by no Jesus. Nothing to put my mind at ease with. Yo! Listen, ain't nothing to put my mind at ease with. So my weed lit, 9 turn up degrees. Youngins plotting for the speed stick, so defense a must. Keep your right guard up if you not sure. Right guard. Yo, listen, my 9 turn up degrees. Youngins plotting for the speed stick, so defense a must. Keep your right guard up. If you not sure, put your arm down and get touched. Arm down. Talk to that man. Talk to that man, bro.
Go to RBE channel and watch that. These guys, they really, really put on. And Xcel says in the battle, he says, this is my 100th battle. And it's like, damn. 100 battles. Now, of course, I know there's a lot of people in the culture that probably would say the same thing. Like a Dre Dennis comes to mind. Like, I don't know how many battles he has. But your 100th battle. We could never really, really understand the writing process and what you have to go through to construct these lines, these rounds, these raps, these battles, and then prep them and memorize them, and then actually get up there under pressure, under the lights, in front of an opponent that you're listening to, actually saying these things, and boom, boom, and then you got the fans there, and the cameras, and the league, and the business that's tied to it. The pressure of coming up with this shit and delivering it, not only is the amount of respect that I have for these type of artists through the roof, of being able to get up there and do the type of stuff that they do, but imagine what it takes to come up with unique material 100 times.
You big Britney Griner ass nigga. You should be somewhere dunking with your friends. But now it's over. See how you got Xcel for rushing with your pen? Wait. Listen.
Say it again.
Let's wait.
No, you gotta say that again.
You got Xcel for rushing with your pen? Skip talk. First, take a look at what you in. I'm undisputed. I am. Oh my God. Skip talk. You gotta look at what you in. I'm trying not to be a fan. Skip talk. You gotta look at what you in. Skip talk. First, take a look at what you in. I'm undisputed, and I'm sharp with words. I cut your skin, bro. Your name in the same sentence as mine's a fucking win. Nigga, so you can fuck up this shot and your shit is still double rim once again.
Now imagine what it takes to come up with unique material 100 times as a battle rapper and be considered one of the game's best writers and one of the game's best pens. Xcel, man, I want to give you your flowers. Nice, and I would say early. You got 100 battles, so maybe it's not early. And obviously, I myself and RBE appreciate you because we've been rocking out and working together for years. You know what I'm saying? But I would like to give you your flowers. This is completely random. Please continue to do what you're doing. Keep showing these people what consistency really looks like. You know what I'm saying? Keep putting in these classic rounds for us, and your art, your artistry, your rounds, your penmanship, it's not going unappreciated. I'd like to thank you for all the work that you put into the culture. I'd like to thank you for your recent battle that just dropped. I'd like to thank you for all the work that you have coming up that you're going to put into the culture on any platform. And yo, man, just keep rocking, man. Keep rocking. We all continue to look at the areas that we can improve on. But when you have an area of your game, of what you bring to the culture that people are already putting out as one of the best in that particular category, you got to be doing something right. For everybody else, appreciate y'all tuning in. Thank you for rocking out. Get at me on my Instagram and on my Twitter. Follow me, ITSARP. You know what I'm saying? Tweet me the topics that y'all want me to talk about, whether it's battle rap related or outside of battle rap related, you know, things that's going on in the culture. We see, you know, this artist pop up and say some wild shit. Kanye is being crazy again. Let's talk about it. We will meet here on this channel and on this podcast to chop it up. And we will always keep it 1,000 because this is the Sorry It's True podcast, where we try to invoke thought. We are respectful. We try to be as honorable as possible. I'm not perfect, but y'all see, I'm not going to be out here trying to disrespect people. But at the same time, I'm going to keep it 1,000 on any topic that we release on this podcast. So hope y'all can rock with that. Appreciate y'all continued support. I'm going to catch y'all in a few.